All right, guys, let's start off here on number 2. So we want to write these in vertex form. So they give us the form right here. And so we're just going to kind of follow that. And I'm going to leave the a as a variable is what it says. And then I plug in my vertex. Now remember our x value we always change. And then the y value stays the same. So I'm going to plug those in there. But once again, just change that x value. And then we're going to plug in this other point for x comma y to see what comes out. So I'm going to plug in the 3 there. Again, we're leaving x as a variable. And there you go. Okay, so then on this one, I do have to do my PEMDAS. So it's going to be parentheses first. So I have to do the operation, the addition inside of parentheses. And then I have to do the exponent next. Let me color code that in yellow. So negative 1 squared is just 1. So I'm going to call that 1a. And now I need to isolate a, so I'm just going to subtract the 5 over. So a equals negative 2. So I can say y equals negative 2, and then keep everything else the same. So the only kind of hardest part here is finding that a out front. All right, next up here, number 4, same idea. We're going to plug in, or we're going to leave a as a variable, and then we switch the x value of the vertex, but keep the y value the same. And then we're going to plug in this other point as our x comma y. So we'll say 0 equals a times 1 plus 1 squared minus 8. We'll go ahead and do the parentheses here. And then we'll square it, so then we get 4a minus 8. Now we're going to add the 8 over. Let's solve this, isolate a. And then we're going to divide by 4. So we get a equals 2. So y equals 2 times x plus 1 squared minus 8. All right, next up here, we're going to graph these. Now the vertex on these is actually very easy to find. We just take the opposite of the x value in there, and then we keep the y value the same. So I can already tell you my vertex is negative 1 comma negative 1. We can also draw the axis of symmetry there. The y-intercept is actually the one that's harder to find here. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x, because that's the definition of the y-intercept. So that'll be, if I follow my PEMDAS here, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So I'll draw my y-intercept to negative 2, and then I have a matching point on the other side of the axis of symmetry, and we can draw our parabola. All right, number 8, same idea here. So first of all, the vertex, very easy to find. So we switch that x value, but then keep the y value the same. So negative 2 comma 4 right there. And also draw our axis of symmetry. And now we'll find our y-intercept. So y-intercept, we plug in 0 for x. So 2 times 0 plus 2 squared plus 4. 2 times 2 squared plus 4. We have to do exponents next, so 2 times 4 plus 4. And then we have to do multiplication, so 8 plus 4. And then finally, our addition is going to be 12. So we do have a spot right there for our y-intercept, and then another matching one over there. And then we can just draw our parabola. All right, next up we have to describe the transformations here. So this minus 8 inside is a shift to the right 8. And then the inside adding or subtracting is always a shift left or right, and it's kind of the opposite way you would think. This minus 7 out back is a shift down 7. The number adding or subtracting out back is always up or down shift, and in the same way you would think. And then a multiplier out front is always a vertical stretch or shrink. And I know this one's a shrink because the a is less than 1. A little fraction like that is going to make it shrink. All right, next up here, we have the x plus 5 in there, so that is a shift left 5. And then we have a shift down 6. And then we do have this negative out front. Now, that's not going to be, there's really no stretch or shrink here because that is actually, I think of that as a 1 out front. But what it does represent is an x-axis reflection. It's going to reflect it upside down across the x-axis. All right, next up here, we got to determine whether it has a max or min value. So I know that this one has a max because we have that negative a value. It's going to be going upside down. And so to find that value, it's the y value of the vertex. So I need to do negative b over 2a since we are in standard form to find the x value of the vertex. Oh, and a is actually -1 in this case. So since a is negative, that was a max, and then I have to plug it in as a equals -1. So it's -6 over -2, so that comes out to 3. Then I need to plug that in to find y. I don't have any parentheses here. I do have to do my exponent first, though, so I'm going to think of this as -1 times 9. All right, and then I'm going to do my multiplication here. All right, and then I'll do my addition. So y equals 9 plus 7, which is 16. All right, and then lastly, we need the domain and range. So the domain on these is always all real numbers. And then the range is, let's see, so if this point right here is at a y value of 16, it is all the ones below 16, so I'm going to say y is less than or equal to 16. All right, next up we need to do some factoring here. I don't see a GCF, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my X box here. So I need to do a times c here, which is 12, and then that's 7 for b. And so I got to multiply to 12 and add to 7, so I think that's pretty easy, 4 and 3. However, because we got that 6x squared out front, we do need to use our grouping here. So I'm going to use these guys in the middle along with an x to represent that 7x that I have in the middle there. And then I'll use my grouping. So the first group I can take out a 2x, and that leaves me with 3x plus 2. The second group I really can't take out anything, so I'm going to take out a +1, which will leave me with 3x plus 2. And so my parentheses are 2x plus 1 times 3x plus 2. If you ever want to check this, you can always check it with an outside-in box. So I'm going to do that here. I always do this on the tougher ones. Oh, actually, that's a 2 right there. So then we get 6x squared, we get 4x, we get 3x, and we get 2. And so you can see the 6x squared is in the original question. These two add up to the 7x in the middle, and then the 2 is back there. So that means that our answer does check out. All right, next up we got some more factoring here. So I'm going to do the grouping since we have 4 terms here. So I'm going to take out an n squared, leaving me with n plus 4. The second group I'm going to take out a -4, which also leaves me with n plus 4. I took out the negative, so these two will end up being the same. So that's one of my parentheses. The other one is n squared minus 4. And that one I can actually split up as the difference of perfect squares. And so this only works if you have both terms are perfect squares here. So I can do n and 2 and n and 2 and just one plus and one minus. And then I'm just going to keep that one the same.